really don't like this comic. I really don't. It's written by a woman who can do nothing else but talk about being a lesbian, and apparently gets triggered by white people. Since when did white people become the big bad wolf to everyone on the far left? Also, aren't we a bunch of fragile weaklings? I mean, the supposed white fragility is everywhere, at least I'm told. I mean, we can't be fragile weaklings and rule the damn world. Make up your mind. Holy crap, I haven't even discussed the cover or the art of the book, and I'm already ranting. This is what this stupid comic does to me. Ugh, let's get to it. Okay, so the cover isn't bad. However, if the writer has complained at all about people being fit in the past, please let me know, because America here is built like a very athletic woman. Yeah, she's got a big butt, and she's got wide hips, but that's genetics for you. Squat thrusts can only do so much. America clearly has tricep definition, back definition, strong legs, etc. Isn't hard work a tool of the patriarchy now or some crap? Or is it a tool of the bourgeoisie? I can't keep this crap in line anymore. My point being that America's drawn like a very attractive woman on a fairly consistent basis, and I'm surprised that leftists love that when it's supposedly unobtainable. In fact, that leads me to another rant. Body positivity. Alright, I'm a big chubby dude. I'm built like an offensive lineman, and for a number of years I really haven't cared enough about my physique to look better than I do. That's starting to change. But regardless, I have a build that I have to work with. If you want to know the scientific term, I'm an endomorph. Back when I was 16 years old, I was already 6 feet tall and could deadlift 500 pounds. Thing is, I've always had a belly, and I've always been huge. My body type is pretty common for people who are quote-unquote bigger. The thing is, the idea that some levels of fitness are unobtainable for bigger people is absurd. If anything, when we work out and we diet properly, we look monstrous, and it's awesome. And women with the endomorph body type, when they work out and when they diet, they look frickin' gorgeous. For us men, you look at guys like Hafthor, Julius Bjornsson, Brock Lesnar, or Braun Strowman. They're endomorphs, and they put down the damn fork and hit the weights. I stopped making excuses. So should you, you pansy. Holy cow, 2 rants before I even get started. Holy crap. Anyway, I'm just going to skip the insulting intro page and point at this part of it. You see how many artists are on this? The only one that's good is the first one, Jen Bartel. Yeah, I know, I'm a traitor. I'm complimenting an artist that's probably a feminist, and probably would hate me if she ever met me. I don't care. She's talented. The rest of these artists on this list are garbage. I'd love to read an X-Men comic, or something like that, with this Jen Bartel's work. With her art and coloring style, it'd be great. She's got a very vibrant style. It's very easy on the eyes. Hell, put her on X-Men Gold. That book looks ridiculously drab. I'd love to see this woman draw Kitty Pryde. But anyway, hopefully she'll continue to get more work in the future, because she is talented. Alright, now we start. And we get to find out more so what Madrimar's origin is, rather than America's. But kind of America's, and kind of her parents'. But the one thing you want to remember is lesbians. Yes, lesbians, because that theme hasn't been drilled into us enough yet. In fact, the world that Madrimar comes from was made by space spirit lesbians. Say that 5 times fast. Oh, by the way, the star portal? Not really significant. One of these deity things made it by accident. So it holds no more significance now than it did before. Grand. After that opening, the bad art and colors begin. But hey, a dude! Yeah! Apparently Madrimar may have actually been birthed by a heterosexual couple. It's not really said, because I don't expect this writer to say anything positive about heterosexuality, but that's what the implication feels like with the presence of men. Huh, so maybe Grandma isn't a space lesbian. Okay, wait a minute, what's with the boxing gloves? How did Madrimar know about boxing if she's from space? Anyway, America throws a tantrum because she wants to see her mom again, and Madrimar won't let her. This I can understand. I'm actually not going to rant about this. Why? Because I get the whole not getting to spend a chunk of your life with your real parents sort of thing. I'm adopted myself. What I'm surprised with is that we're finally getting a character saying time travel is a bad idea, or you can't do it, to this character. In fact, this might be the first person that's actually told America no in the course of this comic. Ugh, criminally. More bad art tells us that there were a bunch of evil insects. I think those are insects. It's hard to tell. The art is terrible. But they forced people off the planet that the space spirit lesbians made, and some of those people from that planet went to the utopian parallel. Basically, Wiccan's dimension of space lesbians. Yeah, I read up on it. It's stupid. But anyway, it goes into this big touchy sequence, and it's not really touchy. It's not really touchy-feely at all. It's boring. This story bores me. I'm more interested in the poorly drawn bug monsters, but that's because I'm a dude. But here's the thing, though. I'll admit, I'm enough of a softie that I can understand good romance and touchy-feely stuff when I see it. This isn't it. America wanting to see her mom again? Well, that wasn't bad. That could potentially hit you right in the feels. Maybe if there was more build-up to it. But this is just kind of there. It feels like I've been given a conclusion in the middle of an explanation. And now I'm left with half the comic still to go through. It's kind of a rip. What we do learn is that America is pretty special among her people, and she developed her powers, which are already rare amongst her bloodline, at a very advanced rate. So she's kind of an Ubermensch, I guess? Uber Latina? I don't know. Latinx. Ugh. Anyway, America catches a statement from Grandma saying that she'd been watching over her for years, and didn't help her when she was in trouble. And she goes on this long list of bad things that happened to her. Basically, she has a tantrum. "Oh no, Grandma didn't make my trudge through life easy. How dare she not save this cat that got ran over by something? Oh no, el gato muerto. Dios mío, hijo del puta, usted chupa, abuela." We find out next why this is a stupid tantrum. The space lesbian spirits called Madramar away to go kick ass. Because, well, she's an ass-kicking grandma. That's why I like Madramar. So she took off on the day that America was born, because that's what she's supposed to do. That's her responsibility. And while there's this entire sequence about that day, all I can think of is how much of a shithead Chavez is for getting mad at her grandma for doing her duty to the homeworld. Dear God. Even worse, Chavez bails after getting mad at her grandma for leaving. So wait, you're mad at Madramar for leaving you, but you're going to go do the exact same thing to her. Yet, Madramar is patient and says she'll wait for her to return. You know what? Fuck America Chavez. She is a terrible human being. Seriously, everything this chick does is selfish, and from what people tell me, she wasn't like this in New Avengers. Apparently, she was a very self-sacrificing individual, even though she was a bit rude. Anyway, apparently Exterminatrix is heading to Sotomayor University to hopefully kill Prodigy and the Phi Beta fuck-ups and fuck this comic. Gah! Seriously, this book is boring as boring gets. It wasn't much of an origin story as it was telling us about characters that were difficult to care about, except for Madramar. The parts that focused on her were interesting, because Madramar's a hero. Holy shit, what a concept. A self-sacrificing woman who knows nothing but love for her selfish bitch of a granddaughter. It's not exactly a difficult thing to look at Madramar and her actions, and then look at America and her actions in this comic, and see that Madramar is a much more enjoyable character, and the kind of person you would want around you. Honestly, I cannot wait for this comic to be canceled. Look, this is Dan. This is a dancer. This is a can, fill in the blank. My name is Micah Curtis. I'll see you next time. Deus Volt.